If you live in a major city in the Western Hemisphere, you have probably seen the image, a Chinese woman floating through the air, dress billowing out behind her, with the caption "She You Art That Connects Heaven and Earth." The adverts are for a company based in upstate New York that presents spectacles of Chinese traditional dance, in which a large cast performs intricate, synchronized routines to the pop Eastern sounds of a live orchestra. Each year, She You's ads spring up across the world in advance of the company's touring season, from banners hanging from street lamps in Brussels to billboards looming over Los Angeles freeways. The company has 5 separate touring troupes that carry out a dizzying schedule, a kind of Cirque du Soleil of the East backed by a seemingly bottomless publicity budget. They have played the Lincoln Center in New York and the London Coliseum. In a single week last spring, they hit Philadelphia, Honolulu, Charlotte, Kansas City and Huntsville, Alabama. Then Barcelona, Salzburg, Bremen, Baden-Baden and Paris. As a troupe whose influence stretches all the way from Bogotá in Colombia, to towns in Kentucky that have surely never before seen 40 Asian people in the same week, let alone 40 Asian people in the same theater, She You is astonishingly far-reaching. It's difficult to imagine a group that has done more to bring Chinese art to unlikely corners of the world. According to the Chinese government, however, She You is the singing, dancing face of Falun Gong, which the government describes as a malevolent anti-society cult that leads its followers to self-mutilation, suicide and murder. In a 2012 statement, the Chinese embassy in Washington issued a warning to Americans who might have been swayed by the posters appearing around town. They have been staging the so-called Sheyu performances in the US in recent years in the name of promoting Chinese culture and showcasing the Oriental charm, the statement reads. But in fact, in addition to their tacky taste and low artistic standards, the performances were filled with cult messages and implied attacks against the Chinese government. Wherever She You goes, the Chinese government follows. In Ecuador and Ireland, Berlin and Stockholm, theaters and local governments have reported receiving letters or visits from Chinese embassies attempting to shut down the dance show. In February 2014, Jörg Seefeld, the event manager of the Stage Theater on Potsdamer Platz in Berlin, where a She You performance was scheduled, received a visit from the Chinese embassy's cultural attaché, who tried to influence things. Seefeld refused, and the show continued. "I am from East Germany," he told the Berliner Zeitung. "With the Chinese it is like it used to be with our rulers. They are simply scared." She You reports a catalogue of more insidious attempts to silence the group. Prior to their shows at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center in Nashville last year, the group says the car tires of the show's presenters were slashed. In 2015 in Chicago, someone allegedly tampered with a truck covered in She You ads, pouring corrosive chemicals over the brake and accelerator pedals.